Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Deleted. I, 20 female, feel like my boyfriend's 20 male parents are taking advantage of us. My boyfriend and I recently moved into our first home together. Ever since we moved in, my boyfriend's parents have been dropping off his sister, 15 female, at our house every week or so to babysit her. Now, I understand the need of looking after family and being there to lend a helping hand. I have absolutely no problem looking after her. However, I feel like taken advantage of. His sister is 15, and in the UK, 15-year-olds can be left home alone legally. I am mentioning this because when she comes to stay, she complains that she is bored. There is nothing to eat or do. We live in a secluded area, not close enough to anything to do anything significant. I can't let her outside by herself because it isn't a safe area. She also overeats. Normally this wouldn't be a problem. However, me and my boyfriend don't have enough to feed ourselves at the moment. Never mind a hungry teenager, and his parents know this. Anyway, his parents drop her off early morning, only giving us 20 minutes notice, and then don't give us a pickup time, usually between 7 PM to 11 PM, and we have to guess. His sister should be in school. She now has a week off due to anxiety, but we all know she is using it as an excuse to skip the last few weeks of school. So it looks like I have to look after her. I don't like looking after her by myself because if I say she can't do something or have something, she makes me seem like a bitch in front of her parents and my boyfriend. For example, we had no food in at all the other week and she complained she was hungry. All we had in was soup, pasta and cheese. She made herself an entire bowl of pasta and had a full packet of cheese. When her dad picked her up, he asked if she had been fed and she just said, "Just some crappy pasta, I'm starving." I almost cried, I felt so awful. She also points at her mouth and grunts when she wants to be fed. I'm already stressed out enough, but I'm also worried her parents are going to just let her in the house. They have a key. When my boyfriend and I are at work, they have done it before. Or I'm gonna wake up one morning and she will be sitting downstairs. This was more of a vent than asking for advice. I have just to grin and bear it, I guess, because you can't really say no to family. Wow, OP, you shouldn't feel like you're being taken advantage of. You are definitely being taken advantage of, and you are absolutely wrong. You can totally say no to family, particularly family who's taking advantage of you. Why are your boyfriend's parents just dropping her off on a Sunday? Like, that's the weirdest day for you to babysit. You would do that during the week if they need something to do or they gotta go to work and you can and have the time to help out. But dropping her off on a Sunday just sounds to me like they're ditching her or something. Now, another point is the feeding. I'm not gonna address the pointing at her mouth and grunting because it just sounds weird. But the thing is that you guys are feeding her out of pocket and your boyfriend's parents are not contributing anything to it. At least the minimum they could do is give you guys some money weekly or something for whatever she's eating, right? In any case, OP, and I know you're not asking for advice, I would say you can definitely say no to family, and next time they ask if you can babysit, just say no, make up plans or something. You're gonna be out of the house, you're gonna go away for the weekend or whatever. And what do you guys think OP should do, or what kind of advice would you give OP? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Milady6 says, ideally you want to change the logs and tell them no. Just because they gave you some stuff doesn't mean they get to drop their child, their responsibility off on you at the drop of a hat. Saying that, from your post, I'm not sure if you're in a position to afford that or replace what they might steal back. Until a time that you can change them, call them and let them know that if they're going to drop her off, she either needs to bring food and entertainment or offer some sort of payment as it's stretching your supplies to breaking point and you're basically being a babysitter. Ask if it's possible for her to stay home instead some days as your schedule is becoming busier. Keep a lock on your food when she's over since she may try to eat it anyway even if she has her own. Wallaby99 says, this crap will just get worse with time. Don't let it become a thing. You need to talk to your boyfriend. He should be the one dealing with his family when it comes to issues like this. Sit down and tell him exactly what you wrote here. His reaction should say a lot about the kind of man you're with. It's your house and you don't have to take any crap for his sister regardless. put her in her place if you need to. And if her parents are going to be bringing her around to the point where you guys can't afford to feed her, they should be doing something to contribute. Again, something your boyfriend should talk to them about. You just moved into your first house. You didn't sign up to be looking after a teenager, and it's okay to say no, even if it's family. You're 20. Lila Lichtenstein says, quote, she also points at her mouth and grunts when she wants feeding, end quote. And I raise my middle finger and roll my eyes when I want someone to tell to F off. Tongue out face. No, seriously, while being rude to her probably won't help, you really need to learn to put your foot down. Your boyfriend and his whole family's behavior is simply unacceptable. It's your home, and it takes your consent to get through your door. Start small. Leave your boyfriend alone to take care of her. Talk to her, sit her down, and tell her in straight words how you can't afford to feed her, and next time she complains, there will not even be cheap pasta. And tell your boyfriend's parents, no, not today, you have plans, sorry. OP's edit. Hi guys, wow, I didn't expect to get this much advice. I took most of the advice and had a conversation with my boyfriend. About 10 minutes after writing this post, he called me asking if his sister could stay the weekend and told me his parents can't cope and needed to get away from her for a while, so I felt like I couldn't say no. I don't mind looking after her, but I want boundaries, respect, and a little appreciation wouldn't hurt. I told him we were busy Sunday morning, so she would need to be dropped off after we get back around noon, and then I need to know when she will be picked up on Monday. Well, he didn't like that because it meant having to say no and standing up to his mom. I got angry because I thought my conditions were fair. Anyway, he stormed off and I followed after giving myself a few moments, and I told him I was at my breaking point and that I was 20 and didn't want the responsibility of a 15-year-old kid who disrespects me. I told him if he can't respect me either, then we will have to break up and I will go to my mom's for the weekend to cool off. This seemed to spark something in him. He didn't realize it had gotten to the point, and we had a good emotional conversation, but he straight away texted his mom that we couldn't have his sister until a certain time and that we needed to know what the pickup time would be. He said to her that we are going to dinner as a couple, so no teenagers. She hasn't replied, and she probably won't, and just drop his sister off whenever she pleases, but my boyfriend and I now seem to be on the same page. As for his sister, many people asked if she is disabled or has mental problems. She has been tested for autism and doesn't have that, and she goes to therapy for anxiety. But I have friends who have anxiety, and I have observed his sister's anxiety attacks, and she just seems to have tantrums that scare her parents. Her parents coddle her and give her everything she wants, however they are never home because they work a lot. Alright, well, the community advice seems fair, and from the edit we learned that OP's boyfriend's parents actually raised an entitled child and now they can't cope with her, so they just drop her off at OP's place. The good thing is that apparently OP was able to wake her boyfriend up or something. Anyways, there is an update, so let's continue with that to see how this story ends. Okay, hi guys, this is my update. Things have been up and down since I last posted. As I said in my edit, my boyfriend and I had a huge emotional conversation, and I told him how I had reached a breaking point and was considering leaving. He promised to change the way he approached difficulties between me and his parents and sister, and all I had to do really was wait until something happened. Well, of course, eventually something happened. Side note, although I am working from home and starting my cosmetic business, I also started to sell my old belongings on Facebook and eBay to try to raise more funds for my business. His mother saw I was selling things and commented publicly that I wasn't charitable and that I should give it all away. This really bothered me because not only did it hurt my feelings, but it also made me look really bad and made me look like a nasty, uncharitable person. Anyway, the good news is that his sister was dropped off at a reasonable time. However, we were not told what time she would be picked up the following day, despite asking. Her parents told us they wanted some time away from her so they could have time together alone. But I have found out that they have gone on separate holidays with friends. As for his sister, well, she has been less rude after my boyfriend had told her to treat me respectfully. However, early this morning, she came up to our room while we were in bed. I woke up and she was standing there, really freaked me out. I could have been naked and my boyfriend was, luckily, covered. I told her she should not do that again and that she should knock, and if there is no answer, do not come in. My boyfriend was mortified and told her off too, and she just didn't show any emotion, just took the cat and left. We had breakfast and she complained again about the lack of food available. Boyfriend asked his mother for food money and she said yes as long as it was spent on a meal out, which we did, but left nothing to get food in the fridge for the following day. For dinner, we just made her sandwiches, but she didn't eat them, and an hour later she said she was hungry. So I bring out the sandwich and she stared at me and said, "I obviously don't want that. Give me pasta." I seethed with anger and looked at my boyfriend for backup. He told her that if she didn't eat the sandwich, then she wouldn't eat at all. So she isn't eating at all. My boyfriend went in the shower, I was watching TV and having a coffee, and his sister sat on the sofa. I got up to refill my coffee in the kitchen, and when I came back, she was gone. I texted my boyfriend and he said she didn't come up to the bathroom, so I went looking in the spare room and my room too, and she wasn't there. Turns out she hid under the bed to scare me into thinking she had gone out. My boyfriend is trying to get a hold of his dad to come get her because he is so angry at how she is treating us. It's little things like she won't talk to me, she ignores me when I speak to her. I'm trying my hardest, but it seems like even though my boyfriend told her to behave, she has decided to do the opposite. While writing this, my boyfriend got hold of his dad and they won't be picking her up until late tonight. We don't drive, so we can't take her home ourselves as others suggested. On that note, here are some other things that have been suggested. 1. That she may have autism. She has been tested and I've been told she hasn't got autism, however, I don't really know. 2. That she doesn't like me and I'm taking her brother away. She doesn't talk that much to him and it's usually to complain. And 3. That she is lonely. She would be always welcome if she didn't treat me like a bag of dog poo. She is seeing a therapist, but I of course don't know the details of this. I am not sure if this will ever be really resolved. I love my boyfriend and I want to be with him, marry him, etc. I'm just happy he is finally taking my side for once. I'm sure we will hear from his mother soon with the whole "you're ungrateful and you're ruining my holiday" malarkey. But you know what? She can shove it. Opie's edit. Yeah, his parents aren't coming for his sister tonight because they're still on holidays. No words, fed up. Opie's final update. We said no. Got a call this morning and my boyfriend gave me the "mother wants sister to come" look, and I said no, and he agreed with me. She only went home yesterday after staying for an extra day, stayed 3 days, and he agreed that was ridiculous and he felt used. So he said no. She got huffy, saying he's ruined her plans now and hung up. Do you know what my boyfriend and I are making plans today? To go for a nice walk and maybe get something for dinner. No teens allowed. Wow, Opie, your boyfriend's sister sounds really immature. I don't know about all the diagnosis things because apparently she doesn't have anything. She's just acting very weird. I would think it's because of how she's been raised, like a little girl and entitled, so she kind of acts this way. I don't know. Whatever, doesn't really matter. You guys said no. That is great news. I hope you guys keep saying no and that your boyfriend's parents eventually step up, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. Anyways, thank you so much for sharing, OP, and all the best in the future. Take care. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user Napalm. Don't want to fix the elevator? Meet the stinky cart. While I was earning my bachelor's in chemistry, I worked for the university hazmat department. My job involved inspecting labs, disposing of old chemicals, occasionally giving people the "you have got to be crapping me" stare, and plenty of other fan activities so our esteemed researchers can figure out science in a safe environment. Quick description of the campus. One building was a more recent construction. It has 2 wings and was shaped like the vaguely S-shaped Tetris block no one loves. The east wing was full of laboratories, 3 full stories and a basement of labs. Cancer research, Alzheimer's research, deadly banana fungus research. The place housed a most prestigious staff of brilliant minds trying to solve the world's problems. The west wing housed administrative offices of the university. Accountants, bookkeepers, assorted bean counters, HR and desk jockeys, all the way up to the dean. People who, unlike their Eastern counterparts, seemed to be the cause of many baffling questions, like why are our emergency expenditures still not approved? Why is there a problem with my payslip again? And why is there so much red tape? That building was connected to the rest of the campus via underground tunnels accessed via the basement and had one elevator per wing. Now, the thing is that the loading dock is in another building, so when the lab receives their order of chemicals, they grab their cart and scoot down the tunnel to the arrivals, load up their cart and carry it back to the lab to be safely stored, on penalty of getting the "are you kidding me" stare or a long lecture from my boss. An important point: the rules prohibit using the stairs with hazmat, elevator only. It's safer this way. So one day, the science wing's elevator breaks down. I send a request to have it fixed, and at least 4 lab employees also send it. We received the response that we all should use the administrative elevator. I replied that since one of the labs is in sort of a half floor, the only way to reach it is the science wing elevator or a flight of stairs, highlighting the risk of falling while carrying heavy boxes of chemicals on the stairs, or how there was no way to safely carry very heavy gas cylinders up those stairs. They were having none of that. Use the administrative wing elevator. They will call to have the elevator fixed, but it is considered a low priority. I showed the reply to my boss. He was the type of guy for who workplace safety is no laughing matter, and I was expecting him to reply with a strongly worded email and about 4 or 5 paragraphs from various workplace safety laws text. Instead, he had a strange smile. "Oh, don't worry, OP, it'll soon be a priority to them." 2 days later, my boss comes in and says, "OP, don't forget the biohazard truck comes tomorrow. You should collect the wastes from the lab." Oh boy, Biohazard Day, the day where I get to leave my office, visit every lab in the university, jokingly saying, "Bring out your dad," as I enter and have a chat with teachers, classmates, and various lab aides. I put on my lab coat and protective goggles. And don't forget, the elevator in the science wing is broken. You have to go through the administrative wing. Oh, now I get it. See, when the pencil pushers decided that fixing the elevator wasn't a priority, they didn't realize that I would be walking around with a cart filled with containers bearing a bright yellow biohazard logo, and returning with them full of old petri dishes full of culture mediums, and any biochemicals microbiologists worth their lab coat will tell you, culture medium stinks. It smells like regurgitated baby food left out in the sun. So here I am, walking in front of all these nice offices and meeting rooms, the clack 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 of my cart full of biohazard announcing my arrival and the smell of death following me. Yes, I made sure that all bags were properly sealed, but it's one of those powerful smells that just doesn't care about that. The nice lobby outside the elevator where people wait to meet the dean? Hello, sorry about the smell. The meeting room with the upper door? Sorry about the noise. Can I get an update on that elevator? People walking down the hall in their office suits. Wow, they sure do seem a bit nervous seeing a guy in a lab coat driving around containers with the biohazard symbol on them. Should I tell them it's harmless unless you're severely immunocompromised? Nah. Oh, and my cart has only room for 3 of those containers, plus the ones I leave to replace the full ones. Biohazard Day is about 2 to 4 trips per floor. After the second of such Biohazard Day, we got a message stating the elevator will be fixed over the weekend. Nicely done for your boss, OP. They wanted you guys to use the administrative elevator. Well, that's what they got. Thank you for sharing, OP. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.